Hi there, Sanjay Gangal from EDACafe. I'm here with Tom Fitzpatrick, General Chair of DVCon U.S. Hello, Tom.
Hi, Sanjay. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Tom. Thank you so much for joining us. So tell us about DVCon U.S. 2025. What are some of the key highlights and themes attendees can look forward to this year?
So it's going to be a great show as always. We're really excited. Conferences continue to grow, certainly since COVID, and we're kind of glad to be back again. We have a number of technical sessions like we always do. A lot of AI/ML stuff. We have a couple of technical sessions on AI and ML. There's sort of the AI part is generally tends to be like generative AI, that kind of thing, helping, generate code for stuff. And then the ML part is more on the analysis side, big data kind of things. So coverage analysis, that sort of thing. We have a session on each of those. So Tuesday and Wednesday is going to be the regular technical sessions like we normally do. Monday and Thursday are going to be, we have mostly workshops this year. There's one sponsored tutorial by Synopsys on Thursday, but the rest of it's going to be all 90-minute workshops. So we've arranged them by topic. So on Monday, there's going to be a number of sessions on low power, UPF and things like that. There is going to be a few sessions on AI and ML. We're starting actually Tuesday morning. Sorry. We're starting Monday morning with a tutorial from Texas A&M, which is the first time they've been part of the program. So that's going to be kind of exciting. It's going to be sort of an overview of kind of what you can do in functional verification with AI and ML. And then we'll have a couple of sponsored workshops that actually show how the different companies are actually applying those. And then we also have a number of sessions on Monday on UVM and portable stimulus as well. So it's a mix of Accelera updates as well as sponsored tutorials.
So, Tom, tell us about the keynotes at DVCon.
Sure. So we're excited this year. We're going to continue what we started last year of having two keynotes. So a couple of years ago, we had the Siemens CTO did the one keynote, and it was not Siemens EDA. It was the big Siemens guy, and he did a really nice overview of how EDA fits into all of the larger things that Siemens is doing. So Siemens is kind of unique in that way, but the other two companies, the big three, right, Cadence and Synopsys, we still rotate those, what we're now calling the industry keynotes, and that'll be on Tuesday. So this year it's Synopsys's turn. What we started last year was we invited the sponsoring company to bring in a partner to also be part of the keynote. So this year with Synopsys, it's going to be Ravi Subramanian, who I got to know fairly well when he was at Siemens. He does a really nice job. He's going to be speaking with Arthur Levin of Microsoft, and they're talking about basically using AI to verify AI in a lot of ways. So similar to the panel that I mentioned, but it's going to be a really interesting talk, and more than just here's the latest commercial from Synopsys, right? So that was something we really wanted to try to get away from, and it's worked out pretty well. So we're going to continue doing that. On Wednesday, we have what we're now referring to as the invited keynote. So last year we had Alex Starr of AMD did a really nice presentation on EDA and Formula One. This year we have Rob Aiken, longtime EDA veteran, actually was involved in DAC for quite some time as well. He's now part of the CHIPS R&D office. So with the signing of the U.S. CHIPS Act, the CHIPS office was formed to administer that, and Rob is a big part of that. But with his background in EDA, we thought he would be a great person to come and talk about the role of EDA in economic security. So this is DVCon U.S., but there will be people from around the world there. He's going to be talking specifically about the impact that EDA has on U.S. economic security, and the same kinds of things will happen with other countries as well. But like I mentioned before, I really want to get people to start thinking about how we can do more than just worry about getting our chip out the door. And I think Rob's going to provide a really nice context for that. So we're looking forward to that.
Okay, and will there be a panel discussion this year?
There will be. So that'll be Wednesday morning, and that's going to be kind of interesting. So it's going to be about AI chips and how hard they are to verify, right? So we have a number of industry experts that are going to be giving their perspective. AI chips are really kind of interesting. Everybody thinks about AI ML, right? I always kind of point out the M in ML stands for machine, right? So
Mhm.
we always need to be aware of the underlying hardware that's required to do these things. So there's going to be some AI applicable to actually doing the design and verification of AI chips. Um, Not quite Skynet level yet, but we're we're kind of getting there, I think. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting. So that should be a good kickoff to Wednesday.
Okay, and how is DVCon addressing the evolving challenges and opportunities in design and verification this year?
Well, we're staying, leading edge. So, as I said, a lot of AI and ML. In addition to the focus sessions on those, a number of of papers and presentations in some of the other sessions are also going to deal with AI and ML in terms of, applying them to coverage or, those sorts of things. The other interesting thing about excuse me, the other interesting thing about the program, we have a poster session as well, and this is something that's kind of bothered me for a while, and I'm really trying to change that a little bit with the direction. So people have tended to think of posters in the past as sort of second-class citizens, if you will, right? And that's not the case at all. The reason that we have posters is really because these are papers that have value and have a lot of really good information in them. We just couldn't necessarily fit them together into a session, right? We've had, quote, potpourri sessions in the past where you have 3 or 4 papers of completely different topics. And that doesn't tend to work well because, people will come in for one paper and then go to another session and that kind of thing. So the posters are an opportunity for these sort of one-off, really high quality presentations to be given in really more of a one-on-one kind of atmosphere. So a lot of people actually prefer posters because they get that interaction, both the presenters themselves, because they get to interact directly with a lot of different people, and the attendees as well, because they get to ask direct questions of the poster presenters. So we're continuing this year also with the Poster Ninja Warrior session that we're doing. So the poster session will be on Tuesday. Everybody will rate the different posters, and the top 4 will be brought into the Poster Ninja session, which will be immediately following the Wednesday keynote in the big keynote room. So there'll be plenty of room for everybody to attend. And those 4 poster presenters are going to do a 5-minute presentation to everybody in the room on the contents of their poster. And then we'll have a panel of expert judges there who will then decide the top 3 best posters. And just to reiterate the fact that, posters and I guess we'll call them lectures if you want, right? The technical sessions, those are on equal footing. So there's a best paper and a best poster, and the prizes are the same. So they're all named after my good friend Stu Sutherland, who passed away a number of years ago. He was a great friend of the conference, had a number of best papers himself as well. So we dedicate those to him as well, and we're pretty proud of that.
Okay, and what advice do you have for the first-time attendees?
I love meeting first-time DVCon attendees. I've been going to this show for 25 years, probably longer. Um, the One of my favorite things about this week is the networking that happens, right? There are any number of people that I see once, maybe twice a year if you count DAC, but I've seen them for so long, I consider them friends, and I hope they consider me that as well. So I love seeing new faces at the conference, people that have come up to me and thanked me for some of the things I've done in the past, which is really gratifying. And seeing them make those kinds of connections, not only with folks like myself who've been around for a while, but also other new engineers as well. And I can see them forming the kinds of relationships that I've formed over the years, and that make weeks like this so much fun for me, and I hope for them as well. So,
Okay. And what is the best way for our audience to find out more about DVCon US on the internet?
so dvcon.org. So as you may know, we have a number of DVCons across the world. We have Europe, India. We have several others. I think China's coming up. But we were the first one, so we get dvcon.org. Everybody else has dvcon dash something. So you can start with us. Yeah, that's where you'll see the current program. You'll see a little more information about the keynotes, and you can even actually look at the archives of past conferences and things. And all of the papers that are associated both with the lecture presentations and the poster presentations, those are going to be online as well for the attendees. After I think it's a month or two, they'll be available for download by the general population. So you can see anything that you might interest you. You can look at it there. We're also we do video presentations. So when the authors provide their final slides, we also ask them to submit a video. Partly that so that the session chairs can make sure that the presentations themselves are high quality. We want to continue to emphasize the quality of the technical program. But that also then gives us the opportunity to archive those. And so even though it's not the same presentation that is being done live, we can't record those obviously, but by having these videos, it makes it sort of an on-demand kind of thing. If people want to go back later and go back over the presentations or whatever, we can do that.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Tom, for taking time to record this interview. Have a great day and stay safe.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure.
Okay, this is Sanjay Gangal from EDACafe.